Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of RPGs with Paddy. I'm Paddy. So, as I mentioned in a previous video, my wife and I were expecting a baby and she's come now, which is fantastic. We're both overjoyed. But it means I won't be putting out videos maybe for a couple of weeks. We'll see where I get a few minutes of spare time. But I just wanted to put out a very quick one today to let you guys know about a couple of sales that are going on that I really think are worth the money. So because this is just a quick one, there'll be no video. I'll put up some shots of the sales and I'll leave links in the description. But it also means there'll be no time for editing, so forgive me if it's a little bit rough. So the first sale I want to tell you about is one that actually I missed through my normal channels until one of my subscribers and friend told me about this. Thank you very much. And I think this is the best deal, one of the best deals I've ever seen. It's this Humble Bundle Trail of Cthulhu one. I recommended recently Trail of Cthulhu in the Cosmic Sale over at Drive-Thru RPG. And you may be feeling a little bit hard done if you bought some of the products there. But even for me, and I have most of these products, I'm definitely going to pick up this bundle because it's 23 of their titles for only $18. I've never seen a deal this good before for them, or at least I can't remember. You're going to get the core rulebooks, you're going to get the bestiary, you're going to get the magic book, Rough Magics, you're going to get some of the great scenarios, the booklets that they have here. I've talked on this channel before about Bookhounds of London, which I think is fantastic. You also have Dreamhounds of Paris, which I've mentioned a few times. There's also the accompanying book, the Book of Ants, which is the accompaniment for Dreamhounds of Paris. And there's the other accompanying book, the Book of the Smoke, and this is actually an accompanying book for Fearful Symmetries. Fearful Symmetries is actually not in this bundle. But this bundle also includes a 20% off voucher for stuff at Pelgrane Press. So even the very few things that aren't included here, you can get them cheaper if you pick up this bundle for only $18. Cannot believe this. It also has two things that I really, really recommend if you're going to look at this. Is Eternal Lies is the big campaign for Trail of Cthulhu. Kind of Trail of Cthulhu's answer to Masks of Nyarlathotep. It's a totally different campaign, but kind of on that same kind of grand scale. And it also includes the Eternal Lies suite, the music for this campaign. So as I said, I have most of these things, but I'm definitely going to pick this up to just fill in the gaps in my collection. So definitely recommend it. 100% worth your money for these PDF titles. Now, on this other website recently, it was announced that I believe in November there will be a new Kickstarter for Trail of Cthulhu 2nd edition. So maybe you're thinking, I don't want to spend my money on these now if they're just going to be obsolete in a little bit. But the article also says that they're talking about kind of minor changes. It might be like similar to a 1.5 version rather than a huge overhaul. So I wouldn't be put off by that. I would say that most of these, or all of these supplements will be usable in Trail of Cthulhu 2.0 is my guess. But even if they weren't, these are very easily transferable to Call of Cthulhu. The stories in them, because it's really a story-based game system, so the rules are fairly light, really, and you can really easily adapt them to whatever game you're playing. There's also some really great advice, mostly from Kenneth Haidt, who wrote most of them, and Robin D. Laws as well wrote a lot. And so there's some really, really good advice here just for horror gaming and stuff with the Cthulhu mythos. So even if you never plan on running a game of Trail of Cthulhu, I think this is definitely worth your money. Now, on to the second. Deal number 2 and 3 kind of come together, and they are Delta Green ones. So these are over at these are over at a Bundle of Holding. So the first deal that you'll get is fantastic. For Bundle of Holding, you always have two choices. You usually have two choices. Do you want to get just the bare minimum stuff, which is the Agent's Handbook, which is a player's guide basically, the Complex, and Agent Dossiers. So this will really help if you're a player. You can just get this cheaper one, which costs $7.95. If you want, you can upgrade, and it's a little bit of an expensive upgrade, to $39.47 at the time. It'll change a little bit. But then you get a huge amount of stuff, including the Handler's Guide. So that's like the Keeper, the Game Master. And the Labyrinth, which talks about a lot of the organizations within Delta Green, along with some campaigns like Iconoclasts, which is set in the Middle East, and all of these are modern times. Impossible Landscapes, which is I haven't played through it, I haven't read through it all yet, but so far it's a fantastic campaign based around the King in Yellow. And then you get like Arcint is another shorter scenario. I'm pretty sure it's a scenario. And it's not. Sorry. No. That's kind of giving some what would you call it? Extra resources like tools for the players to use, and also a handler screen. I'm actually not sure about the handler screen, how much use that would be in a PDF format. I don't actually own it yet, but I will be picking up this one at some point. The final thing that's there is also Delta Green, the Conspiracy. So this was, I believe this was the first thing that they published when they started Delta Green as a separate thing from Call of Cthulhu. And so recently there was a Kickstarter to kind of republish a lot of the classic ones in a beautiful format, I think. Unfortunately, I missed out on the Kickstarter. But the first one of these, The Conspiracy, this is from, I think, 1997. This is when they really launched Delta Green as a game. This has been on my buy list for a while, so I'm definitely going to be picking up this bundle and just seeing where we go there. So Delta Green is definitely a lot more grim, and so it's a little bit less usable. I think Trail of Cthulhu is kind of, it's a horror game, but it's relatively kind of light horror, kind of similar to Call of Cthulhu, where it's kind of easy to bring it out. But Delta Green is a lot more grim. Now it's great. The stories are great, and you can really delve deep into the horror. But it's not going to be for everyone. So if you're interested, or if your players are interested, they might want to pick up that cheaper bundle for about $8. The second thing is the Delta Green Assets Pack, and again, this is on Bundle of Holding. There's only the cheap version here. There's no second tier, so you can get all of this for $18. And in it, you're going to get a lot of digital assets for to help you create your own handouts for this. I remember this came out a while ago, and I thought that it wouldn't be suitable for me because there were some kind of brushes, or it included brushes for a software that I didn't have. But I believe now there's a lot of stuff here which is like PNGs and stuff like that, and SVGs, so you can just use those easily to kind of create more realistic handouts for your players. So sorry, I can't go into more detail into them at the moment because things are really, really hectic here. I'm just squeezing in a quick review here just to let you know about that. But definitely my recommendations, absolutely 100%. If you have any interest, even if you have most of the stuff, I would pick up the Trail of Cthulhu bundle on Humble Bundle, link it below. If you're interested in Delta Green, I think that there's a really good selection of stuff there in the Delta Green Mega Bundle, especially Impossible Landscapes and Iconoclasts. But honestly, there's a huge amount of great information in even just the Agent's Handbook, which you can get in the lower tier, and the Handler's Guide, which is in the higher tier. Really, really, really very well written and highly recommended. If you're like okay with either maybe not playing it and taking some ideas from it, or if you have a group who's okay with kind of hardcore horror. And the Assets Pack would probably be the third ranked one that I would recommend. It wouldn't be the highest on my list, but the quality is very high. And there's a nice selection, lots of different things that you can do. But I'm not so familiar with that. I still have to think about if I'm going to buy that one or not. But that is going to do it for today. Have a great until I see you next time. Anyway, everyone, and yeah, go play Trail of Cthulhu. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.